Welcome to Derby Rocks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We are happy to be here for another week. It is your old pals Shram and Cashman.
I'm trying to get my head down low.
Cash is doing some weird stuff on his camera right now. He is
Yes.
it's Wednesday, I think still. Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Yep.
And he is in his living room. I am in my at home office. He is being a goofball. That's all right. It's Derby Rocks. You're used to that. Thank you for hanging out with us. How are you, my man?
I'm good. I'm good. It is Wednesday. It means we're halfway through the week.
You look like somebody trying to like cosplay as somebody sitting naturally or something like that. Like you're like if somebody was way too high at like a family function and they're
Yeah,
like, okay, I'm just gonna sit naturally.
I got
Right.
you.
Yeah, I'm
I
just gonna
got.
sit down. That was what you looked like. That's very
I'm
funny.
really crouched. Because if I sit up straight, I didn't hang the banner behind me, so I want to see the banner in here, you know. So I didn't hang it up. So if I sit up straight, you're not going to see it.
I didn't see
Yeah,
the
of course, you
banner.
have to be seeing this on a stream or something
You know,
because
you could always just like we could take one of our great logos that we had, and just make a virtual background.
yeah, I could do that. I've been thinking about doing that and also doing it around the complete outside of the pictures too.
Sure.
I'm not that smart though, but I've been trying to. I've been looking into it. You know, it's like, man, you can start getting into those settings and things, and it's like insane. So, but I'll
Yeah.
figure it out. I'll figure it out. I don't know how other people do it. They have like, they do different things than we do. Like,
Yeah. I mean, there's just like settings and stuff. It's not too hard. We can figure it out.
but I
We're
mean,
smart.
even like when people talk, it makes their picture big, and then when the other person's talking, their picture goes big. You ever seen like that?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's just that's part of the settings or the
yeah,
view.
yeah. I can change
Yeah,
that.
because you could have speaker, you can have gallery, you can have multi-speaker.
Yeah.
You can also sort gallery how you want. So if there was like a bunch of us, we could sort by like alphabetically and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a ton of settings.
So there you go, a little bit of
Yeah,
a
that's your
tutorial.
Zoom info.
Yeah,
Welcome to your
yeah.
Zoom tutorial on Derby Rocks. That's
Start the yeah.
fantastic. Well, hey, thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's going to be a good show. I had a busy week that we will get to here shortly. Then we're going to replay an interview, which is sort of fitting. We last week we had a great interview with Yeedy from Casco Bay and Midway Magic, a bunch of other places, and they ended up winning most valuable blocker at North American qualifiers. We're going to talk about the results coming up
Yeah.
there as well here soon. So it's only fitting that we have the most valuable jammer from that event as well. So we're going to replay an interview. Honestly, mom's in town, so I have not had time to do all the extra stuff and hunt somebody down. So you're going to get a great repeat interview with Senior Wiener from Toronto Men's Roller Derby. I
Yeah.
think they go by like Toronto Mixed Roller Derby now, right?
Yeah, they did change they
Yeah.
changed something. Yeah.
I think it's still TMRD, but I think the M is mixed now, if I'm not mistaken. So, and we love that guy, and he is definitely a talented jammer. So we figured it was only fitting to replay that interview if we were going to replay one today. So,
Yeah, we
thanks,
saw him early this year in Rochester.
Racha. Yeah, yeah,
He came
great friend of the show.
he had a
Uh,
great game too there too. So it's
Most definitely.
he's done, I mean he definitely works. It's interesting that both MVPs, neither of those teams continued on. Uh,
Yeah,
but
and I
I've
mean, I
seen
think that probably plays into it a bit too. You know what I mean? Not to say that neither of them is deserving, but it's always, you know, simple to just like take a look at some of the winning teams and pick somebody there. But I think it means a little bit more if you really look at it and kind of, take it for what it is. And as far like Yeedy, I saw some really incredible plays. There was one that I saw somebody posted somewhere where they like um are taking the jammer back pretty much and their bodies on them and they're like going one on one. Then the jammer breaks to the inside and kind of starts to get out, but then she catches up. Really unbelievable clip that I saw. But like, wow, so incredible. What a great blocker. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, well deserved, but I think it also, means a bit more too when you pick from, I don't want to say the losers, but the people who didn't advance or win the tournament.
No, you know what's interesting is I watched a lot of the games, and when I heard Yeedy a lot,
Yeah.
the name came out a lot. So there was a lot of highlights during that tournament. And it's which is fantastic. There was if we want to jump into it, maybe just for a second, I think that tournament ended the way I think it was going to end. I thought
Yeah, I mean,
you have a new team though. I mean, we got to see the All-Stars go on, and it was like kind of like their inaugural season.
sure, and it's fascinating to see, and I think it's when you look at the charter, you know that it's like not a new team. It's a new team on paper,
Yes.
but it's really not a new team at all. Some people, Wombo Combo, Guillotine Grace, Quadzilla's on that team.
No.
People who have been skating for years and years. And I mean, let's face it, whether you love them or you don't, Quadzilla is one of the best jammers on the planet. Um, and just surrounded by a great team.
Yeah.
So easy for them to move on. Puget is also one of those teams that has kind of gained some great talent over the years and have um, always kind of been around in that top 10 conversation too. So it makes a lot of sense. So if you didn't hear what the Dallas Derby Devils, Y'all Holla, and Puget Sound, um, what is it? Puget Sound Derby Outcasts or something like that. Excuse me if I'm mixing that up. But they are both moving on to MRDA champs coming up here in Oregon, right?
Yeah, it's in October too. So
Nice, right
yeah,
around the
so
corner.
yeah, it's not that far away. So yeah, man, it's awesome. But it was like, man, it was some great games, man.
Good, really good games.
Some
Yeah.
teams play. I mean, there was some tight games in there. There was
Yeah.
it was just it was great competition, and
You,
everyone
I
deserved to
loved,
be there.
yeah, I love to see, Toronto have some really great success, especially with some of the struggles that we've seen them have over the years. We've seen them show up to playoffs with maybe 10 before, or we've seen them show up to sanction games with 10 people, 9 people, so
Yeah,
it's great to see them have some success and kind of, have a complete team and really be able to hang with some of the top teams out there. It was great to see them have success. So I particularly loved that. We have a lot of friends on that team. We had a lot of friends generally, throughout the event. So it's hard to be upset about any of the outcomes. So yeah, good for Dallas and Puget for being able to advance.
yeah. Yeah, now they're the 11th and 12th seeds now going in with number one being obviously our friends down from the St. Louis area there.
Sure, yeah, yeah. So if you haven't, you can go to find the MRDA on socials.
Yeah.
They have released the 12 teams that will be taking place at Champs. Um, so that's out there. I don't have that list in front of me, but we know Dallas, Puget, and a few other of the typical ones are going to be there. So it's going to be a great event. I'm really looking forward to it. Great to have another year of champs. It'll be interesting to see. We just had some upsets at some recent tournaments. I think we had Dallas losing, or not Dallas, Denver losing to um, Concussion. I think that was a pretty big upset. There's some other stuff that's gone on lately that's been pretty wild in the MRDA. So it'll be exciting to see how everything shakes out at champs.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. And once again, like you said, with this past tournament, we'll have a lot of friends there. It's
Hard to be mad, hard to pick a favorite too. So
uh,
usually I don't, and I just kind of wait to see how it shakes out.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
Play it safe that way.
yeah. Toulouse is the second seed. I mean, tying
Yeah,
here
pretty
third.
wild,
So
right?
yeah, so this is anyone. It's anyone's game. So very cool. I mean, that's
You are
awesome.
not wrong, man. You are
Yeah,
not wrong.
yeah,
Before we get into our weeks, I will say that there is still a fair amount of ugly going on right now. A lot of accusations, a lot of negative stuff coming out here and there. Do yourself a favor and just try and be a decent person. Think about what you're doing, think about what you're saying, and how it might affect other people. And if you mess up, say sorry. And I think that's good life advice. So I won't spend too much time on that because we have only about 25 minutes to kill. So, Cash, why don't you go ahead and tell me about your week? What's been going on, my man?
Okay. My last weekend, oh man, it's been a while since I've seen you last.
Yeah, it has been a bit since we've actually seen each other.
Yeah.
I think it was last Wednesday, maybe, that we talked to Edie because I think Thursday and Friday I worked.
Yep. Yep. So yeah. In fact, I'm going to go quick through mine because I want to hear how those concerts were. So, on mine, nothing that spectacular. Obviously, NAQs dominated a lot of my viewing time, last weekend. That was really cool. I saw, the Killers, on
Yeah, how
Saturday.
was that?
That was a great show, man. That was a lot of fun, and they changed their set list around because they were in the Buffalo area, and so that means they have to play one song at the end of the show that usually they were kicking off the shows with until they came into Western New York. So, yeah,
Oh, I gotcha. All
yeah,
right, that's fair.
it's the one that they sing in the second half of the games,
Sure. Yeah.
so that was and that was they were great. They were solid. They sounded exactly like they sounded on the records, or whatever on the CDs, on the
Cool.
digital files. They were fantastic.
They're called albums, regardless of the format. Cash, you're
Yeah,
you're a radio guy, you know that.
albums. They sound a lot like, and it was a lot of fun. So that was cool. And also, I mean, the other thing last weekend was, I'm kind of like a hippie, and
You are a hippie, sort of.
Dad and Company. We're playing three shows in, Golden Gate Park, in San Francisco to commemorate the 60th year of the Grateful Dead, and they were running them all. Um, uh, they were not all. They weren't all. They were streamed all, but they all started later because it was in San Francisco. So I was
Sure.
actually driving home from the Killers, and I have Sirius, which I cannot see a way of getting rid of because, there's so much good stuff on it.
Yeah.
And but
Yeah, I
so
mean, there's like a whole like dead
yeah,
station, right?
they
There's a
were
jam
streaming the
band
concerts.
station,
They were streaming the concerts for free from,
right?
on Sirius. I actually got the
Sure.
app on my phone so I could listen to them on my phone too.
Nice. Yeah, I have it on my phone too. I don't use it really on my phone, but it's
Yeah.
good to have.
So that was last weekend, which was pretty cool. It's been a pretty, laid back week. We got a lot of work for our summer projects really close to being done. So we have to kind of like put it in a slower gear and do some other stuff. So I've been cleaning my office and things like that, straightening things out, which is never a bad thing anyways. But, work has not been that stressful this week at all. It's going to pick up, but it hasn't been. And, beyond that, that's about my week. How about yours?
Yeah, man, it's been a busy one for me. We talked Wednesday, so then Thursday and Friday I had shows. Kesha was Thursday, which was a great show overall, but as far as my job goes, it was a bit rough. So it's essentially my job to keep our EMTs and doctors and stuff there, because of the size of the crowd that we have there. We have like doctors on staff and EMTs and so on. Um, but there was just so much underage drinking and things like that, which I'm really shocked when it comes to like Kesha, because despite the fact that she is like kind of talks about like partying and a lot of stuff like that, she's very like reasonable, very responsible, I don't want to say conservative, but very um I don't think would like really approve of 14-year-olds puking,
No.
at a sold out concert, without their parents and stuff like that, So um, it was a weird night, and yeah, we end up seeing a lot of different people for a lot of different reasons, but this one was mostly just continuous vomit from preteens, basically, like
Uh,
very young kids. Drinking, not great. I do not recommend. Again, overall, a great show. Kesha's phenomenal. I'm a big fan. I bought a T-shirt, which is great. It's called the Tits Out Tour, which is fun.
yeah.
I
I,
don't know
I
if you
saw
have.
I saw pictures of her riding rides and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was not, there for any of that part. but it looks like her and her entourage or her and her family or whatever went and run some rides throughout the day because our concert venue is attached to a theme park. Um, yeah, weird night. Not one of my best nights working there, I will say. The next night was Nelly. That was a little bit better as it was a little bit more of a mature, older audience. Still some things going on, but nothing too bad that I can remember overall. The easier of the two shows, I will say, last night it was Tuesday night. I worked a Big Time Rush concert. I don't know if you know anything about Big Time Rush, but they
A
are,
TV show, right?
yeah, they were like a
Yeah.
Nickelodeon band, and then they
Yeah.
actually released music based on the show and so on. And last night, knock on wood, that it'll be like that for other concerts this year. But yeah, that was like the easiest show I've ever worked. So pretty unbelievable, especially at my position. So good stuff. But last weekend was great other than the work. We went to Speedy Fest on Saturday, which was a lot of fun. Basically, there was like the festival itself has like some vendors, lots of food. So we definitely ate. The festival is named after like Speedy sandwiches, Speedy subs, or Speedy sauce, which is like a Binghamton or a a Central and Western New York thing. So we definitely got a Speedy. Good time though. We got to take the boy out, and then that night there was an R Truth concert, which was pretty wild, which is a weird thing to say. It was fascinating though, I will say. He has some like country hip hop songs that are pretty weird. And then he actually has some like very gangster rap hip hop songs. And um, yeah, it's fascinating. For those of you that don't know, R Truth or Killings is also a professional wrestler in the WWE. He's been around forever. He was previously in TNA,
Yeah.
kind of carried the company for a long time. Um, well, I digress, whatever. Fascinating
He is
concert.
he is comic relief, or he has been for most of his run in the WWE. Did
Mhm.
did he do What's Up?
He did, yeah.
Okay.
So, um, I don't think he owns That's What's Up because his walkout music is called like That's What's Up, right? Where he literally like says the words That's What's Up.
Yeah.
Um, where his song is just called What's Up. So it's just what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, back and forth instead. So it was a little bit shocking to me that like he didn't even get to perform his own entrance music because I guess he doesn't own the rights to that. Don't hold me to that. But it was cool, for somebody who's like pretty famous. He actually like came down into the like general admission pit and kind of like did a whole song in the pit and stuff like that. He told some stories and talked a little bit. But it was very funny because he also pulled up in like an Escalade, got out, got on stage, did the thing, and then got back in the Escalade. Um, but we were mainly there for Gym Class Heroes from Geneva, New York. If you have been around, if you are a nearly, if you're like 30 to 40 in Western New York, I mean, maybe otherwise, Cash, you've at least heard the name, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, they were like a wildly popular band back in the day, signed to the same label as bands like Paramore and Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco. Um, they, they've built up some fame by like touring with different bands. Similarly, I've seen them open for Fall Out Boy. I've seen them open for a variety of other bands as well over the years. But they are also just incredible performers. They have been around. The first time I saw them was 2005, so it was great to um, be able to see them again. And I've seen them a handful of times throughout the years, but it has been some time. So great to see them again. Really good weekend overall. We had some good snacks. I think we even got some ice cream before we left the festival for the night. It was cool because it was part of like the community festival thing that was going on. The show started at like 6, which was great because we were out of there nice and early. I loved that. Um, Sunday was cool. For the most part, we just ran errands. We caught up through the weekend on wrestling as well. SummerSlam was this weekend, so if you're a wrestling fan, we know you probably caught some of the pay-per-view. Um, Sunday was a big day for catching up on that.
Oh yeah.
And then Sunday night, I drove out to the Buffalo area to pick up mom. So it's great to have mom in town. She loves seeing Anderson. Great to see her get to be around her grandson. Great to spend time with her. As long as everything cooperates tomorrow, I think we're all going to try and go to Frasco, which will be really cool. So we'll get out to party in the park.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun time. It'll be nice to bring, the boy and bring mom and get out there and have a silly time. So, um, yeah, I don't know. Today was a cool day. We went to the Bills camp, the Buffalo Bills practice here at St. John Fisher for like 2 weeks before the season starts. It's a way for them to like bond and they actually like live together in dorms and stuff like that. It's pretty wild. Um, St. John Fisher, what the hell am I saying? Bills camp. We were
Did
there
you see
today for.
did you see any of the cameras that were
Yeah,
out
it
there?
was pretty cool to see some of the like they were literally running practices with like boom mics on the field and stuff like that. And then there were people who had like HBO Hard Knocks crew on their like shirts and stuff like that with
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills logos on them. So it was kind of fascinating to see, but we were there for my company picnic today. Every summer we do something as a company, and for the last few years it's been Bills camp. And yeah, it's cool. Everybody got to meet Anderson. Not everybody's had the chance to meet him before today, so that was nice. Good to get out and do that. But yeah, other than that, things have been really good. Happy to get a few more days with mom once we return from summer affair this weekend, which I am looking forward to. We love summer camp. It's always a great time, and I'm excited to get back out there into the middle of nowhere. Um, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm not going to lie. We've obviously, talked about some issues going on, and we're going to run out of time. So I'm sorry. But I feel like it's important to say that I think, our friends in certain leagues have made some hard decisions in the past, couple of weeks. And while certain individuals will not be at summer camp, um, it doesn't mean that the vibes have to be like terribly off. You know what I mean? I think we can kind of figure out a way forward, and I hope we can. This is not to minimize damage that has been done or to excuse any of the parties, but at least the appropriate steps were taken for the event this weekend. Um, and moving forward, it sounds like it won't be an issue. So, fingers crossed that everybody has a fun, safe time this weekend at Summer Affair. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think we've probably killed enough time.
Yeah.
That there is some news. Go make sure that you follow our page. Head to facebook.com/Derby Rocks. We always post a fair amount of news there on the page. And thank you for playing along. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. You're going to hear our interview with MVP Jammer, Senior Wiener from the North American qualifiers. You're listening to Derby Rocks. We love and appreciate you. We'll see you next week.
Stop.